Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to do my 2023 top pickups of the year. So this is not necessarily units that were released this year. It was characters and figures I picked up this year as my first time back into collecting after taking like a 15-year hiatus. So I picked up 190 figures this year, and so some of them meant more to me than others. But of course, I wanted them all that I got, and of course, still some more. So I wanted to start off with just a quick top five or top 10 of the year, and then a few honorable mentions here. So my first honorable mention is going to be Ahsoka season 3. Love this figure. She looks phenomenal. Really enjoyed seeing her being brought to life, and then because of that, I picked up the Disney Infinity version of her, which I was just blown away at how good this looks and how close it was to the actual Ahsoka version that we got from Hasbro. So super cool, you know. Figure, love to have her. For number 14 was actually my first Hot Toys ever, and this was the Falcon Captain America. Now, you'd be wondering, okay, why as a Hot Toys this far down your list in the honorable mention realm? Well, don't get me wrong, this guy is phenomenal in every route, but he wasn't that hard to get, and I really wanted a cool version of Captain America. Not really definitive because Steve Rogers, Chris Evans is really my favorite version of Captain America, but after watching Jedi Patrol, shout out to Jedi Patrol, I couldn't pass this one up, so I was like, let me, if I start off with Hot Toys, let me start off with a banger, and this definitely was a banger. Super easy to get though, so didn't take a lot of work, so, but I definitely was super happy to get him, so. For number 13, was my Ultra Magnus. Now, Ultra Magnus Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus, great figure. Really liked him. Enjoying him a lot. Definitely one of my childhood favorites. And, again, mini masterpiece. They did a phenomenal job with this as well. And, he wasn't super hard to get. So, kind of goes into the calculation of my pickups is kind of how difficult was it to get. Did it take a lot? I mean, later I just pre-ordered him and he showed up. So shout out to Big Bad Toy Store for the fulfillment. So love those guys. My number 12 pickup is Black Widow, SHF Black Widow, and this is actually the Infinity head on the Black Widow movie Black Suit body. And the Infinity War body was cool, but I really like this suit. I mean, Black Widow is really kind of like black and red, and I loved this suit, but I love the head sculpt on this much better. This looks like Scarlett Johansson like to a T. So that was my reason for kind of putting those combined. So I technically had like two of those in one. So it's kind of how that works. My number 11 pickup for the year is going to be the Cap versus Cap, Steve Rogers, SHF. Great figure, great posability, great accessories. That shield oh man, they just did such a phenomenal job with that shield. Head sculpt's okay. I'm looking forward to the Mafex units that are coming out in the next, that's supposed to schedule come out this month. So we'll do some reviews on those when those guys come up. But I really wanted a clean suit, Steve Rogers, and this SHF was just much better than the Marvel Legends and wasn't even close. So getting into the top 10 pickups for me this year, I'm going to combine two, and that's the Bad Batch season 1 and season 2 looks. Like I say, I'm a huge fan of the Bad Batch, and I was able to get all the figures from these teams So, which I know was really hard to get. This hunter here was, oh my God, it was way too expensive. Trying to pick that up. I wish they would have re-released it, but I couldn't run the risk of not getting them. So that was my probably that picking up that team was more expensive than getting that hot toy. It wasn't. It was unfortunate because Crosshair and Hunter were crazy expensive. So that was my number 10 pickups. My number 9 is Cara Dune. Now I was able to get an extra copy of her, so I have one and one open on the shelf. Then I have one that's still in the box, and I have the credit collection and the two TBC versions of her as well. But I'm a huge Gina Carano fan, and I realized after watching a couple of different YouTubers talk about how they're not going to re-release this character or this particular figure because of what happened with her, Gina Carano personally with Disney, that I was like, I got to pick this up. So again, one of those figures you pay a whole lot more for than you should because you just can't get them anymore. So, but definitely don't regret it at all. Love this Gina Carano head sculpt. Did a phenomenal job with her. So Cara Dune comes in at my number 10, at my number 9. My number 8 pickup for this year was another one of those really hard to find, very expensive secondary market, and that was Captain Rex. We all know Captain Rex is pretty amazing. He's one of my favorite clones. I'm sure that's the case for everybody. This is the photoreal version, so I wanted the better looking version of him. The weathering's amazing, of course, and Rex just doesn't disappoint. I'm looking forward to seeing his helmet come in this year and have that on the shelf with the collection as well. Coming in at number 7 is War for Cybertron Jetfire. Now, this was hard to get because the War for Cybertron stuff is it's stupidly expensive. I don't understand why they don't keep releasing it, but like buying this guy secondary was crazy, and I happened to find him on CMD store as a restock for like $99, but everywhere else you try to find them, they're wanting like 150, 180, $200 for them. So, but Jetfire, definitely my favorite jet. I got him in Decepticon mode. If you guys watched the collection video, because I have them actually with my Tetrajet Seekers, so in my display. So, but yeah, Jetfire, definitely super happy to pick him up. Glad I was able to get him, even though was way too much. Well, no, I'll take that back. That he wasn't way too much. It was just really hard to get. I had to be super patient to pick him up. So, my number 6 for the year was the SHF Boba Fett, and as you guys know, this is my favorite fictional character of any series, any franchise. Big Boba Fett fan since I was a little kid, and it was great to have probably one of his coolest looks. I mean, this is a very sleek Jango Fett-ish kind of look for him, sleek bodysuit, and he just looked like a straight up boss. Even though the show wasn't the greatest, this figure definitely and the suit looked amazing. So I'm so glad we got a good version of it. Maybe Hasbro will do something pretty good with it, since the new Din Djarin is kind of looks like it's going to be on scale with the imports, but we'll kind of see how that goes if they ever decide to do one of these. Coming at number 5 is my Mezco Tactical Suit Batman. Huge Snyder Cut fan. Love the Justice League, and this Tactical Suit Batman was the one I had to have. This is my favorite version of him. He just looked super cool. I'm not a huge DC fan, but I'm an Affleck fan, and I really like the way he portrayed Batman. And this Mezco suit just kind of hit all the different points for me. So no complaints at all with that. Coming in number 4 is another 2-for-1. It is the Mafex Empire Strike Back and Mafex Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Both of them I love equally, so I really couldn't separate the two of them. But they are phenomenal figures. They don't pose super well. I mean, they have a lot of articulation, but mainly they're just such a great representation of what this looked like in the movie. Like, there's no other figures on the market that have this amount of detail, this amount of paint, that's this amount of accuracy. Like, if you want something to go on your shelf, besides going to like a hot toy, if you want something on your shelf that's gonna look like the movie versions of the OT, that is, these are definitely the route to go. No doubt at all. Love them both. Number 3 pickups for the year, and I'm just going to use Snarl as the representative, but it was the Dinobots, the Studio Series 86 Dinobots. I did pick up the other 3. So I have Grimlock, Sludge, and Slug. And so waiting on Swoop to come in this year so we can finish them off. But Dinobots are my favorite team, and I was so happy to be able to get those. Grimlock and Snarl were, Grimlock and Slug were very, very expensive to get because, again, Grimlocks are going for like $200, $250 in the secondary market. I know they're re-releasing Slug, but I wanted to pick him up because, of course, I had no idea, so I just had to pick him up. And he was a little higher than I wanted to spend for him, but, all in all, these new Studio Series 86 Dinobots are really the characters I wanted. So, I was willing to kind of go out of my way to get those guys. My number 2 pickup of the year, SHF, Wonder Woman from the WW84 movie. Now, it's all about this head sculpt. This head sculpt is Gal Gadot 100%. And this suit is definitely my favorite suit. It's more of the comic book version. And what I ended up doing was buying a Mezco version of her from Justice League, and I took the sword and shield and gave it to her. Even though the Mezco is a little bit bigger, the proportions are actually just okay. And working out pretty perfectly. So I wanted a representation of the Hot Toys WB 100 Wonder Woman, which was basically this suit and this sword and shield. So I kind of made my own mini version of her. So, but this figure, I got her, and she's been on my desk ever since. Where you focus? There we go. And I'm just enamored by it. I absolutely love this figure from beginning to end. Everything about it, vibrant, sticks out. Shout out to D Amazing. I was watching his videos, and he kind of turned me on to this one here, this version, and no regrets. And then my number 1 pickup of the year, probably no surprise to anybody, SHF Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. My favorite Saiyan. Granny had a pretty horrible story arc and, pretty abysmal death, and, it's whatever. But, as soon as I saw Broly transform, I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And this is the SCCC 2018 version. Probably the most expensive figure I own because I paid more for him than I paid for that Hot Toys, because people aren't letting these guys go. And, I really wanted this figure in my collection. So, kind of had to get a couple, bid on a few before I can actually get one. But 100% no regrets. Love the way it looks. Love the build. Great articulation for such a big guy. But, this means a lot to me because this is really my favorite franchise is Dragon Ball. And this is my favorite figure from Dragon Ball. So, I'm a huge Vegeta fan, not a really big Goku fan. But like I said, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, original Broly, DBZ Broly, that's my version of Broly. So, all right, well, that is my top 10 pickups from myself personally for 2023. In the comment section, tell me what you guys picked up this year and that you really like, and I'll check them out. Thanks so much for your time. Bye.